Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Zestial Celestial from Houston in Texas in the USA. So let's see what Zestial Celestial has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello, Zestial Celestial. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm pretty good.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
So far, pretty good. I just kind of woke up, got a haircut not that long ago, so all in a good mood.
Amazing. Do you consider yourself to be more of a day or night person?
I consider myself more to be a night owl. I naturally kind of stay up pretty late on my regular days. Plus, I'm always out and about doing something, whether it's for myself or drag. I'm kind of always busy.
Tell me where you're from.
I'm from Houston, Texas, so born and raised here. Lived here my entire life, but at the same time, I have been traveling, rather it's to Austin, Dallas, or even out of state. I went to Spain, Italy, and France when I was a little bit more younger.
Oh, wow.
Uh, yeah, and then went to Puerto Rico, and then even traveled in the United States as well to like different states from Colorado to Washington D.C., New Mexico. So yeah, I get around.
That's amazing. So tell me, what was the biggest joy of growing up in Houston, Texas?
Oh, man, that's kind of a tough one. I want to say the biggest joy would be going down to Austin every summer and going tubing. I'm a water person. I love being near beaches, water, bodies of water. Like I'll enjoy it. So anytime when me and my family went down to Austin to go swimming or go tubing, it was always like the biggest joy. Like I always crave the summertime for that reason alone.
Amazing. And what do you do for work, for living, Zestial? So,
So I currently work two jobs. So part my full time job is that currently right now I'm working with kids with autism with this company called ABC Action Behavior Center, to where we are basically kind of trying to teach kids different type of learning techniques, rather that's verbal communication, rather that's just communication in general, or being able to just teach them simple tasks like how to tolerate being on the toilet, how to tolerate sharing. Just trying to teach those type of social cues. And then my part-time job is that I work at a gas station all the way out in Waller.
amazing. Okay, so I'd like to start the interview talking about your title as Mix Trans Texas 2025. So I have two questions regarding that. The first part of the question is, when you say mixed trans, I was a bit confused. I'd like you to explain. And also, the second part of the question is, tell me how the opportunity came along.
Okay, so I'll start with the second question first because the second question will lead into the first question. So how I even got into this pageant system, because on my personal time is I'm also a drag performer here in Houston. Um, so one day I was on TikTok and I found like this video of this person introducing themselves and their title for this pageant system. And so I looked into it, and so the pageant system themselves is called like the Trans USA Pageantry System, where there is a trans men category and a trans women category for both the Mister and the Mrs. Well, the mix is the non-binary community, the non-binary representation. And
Okay.
so that is how I got into this system, and that's how I got into this title, because once when I saw all of these videos from different contestants from different states, I started doing my own little research, and then I applied, and then that's how I became Mixed Trans Texas 2024, and then reapplied again for this year to be Mixed Trans Texas 2025. So I'm competing again in the pageant that's going to be in November this year, all the way in DC, because last year we was in Milwaukee. So I'm competing again, and this time I'm just trying to go bigger and harder for Texas, because I feel like I did my big one last year.
That's
So,
amazing. You just made my day now, Zestial Celestial, because I never heard before the title mixed trans, yeah. And so basically, it's for non-binary person.
hmm And
That's
so the beauty about this type of system and the beauty about this type of passion that I truly admire is that for this type of title and representation, they are mainly looking to see what type of work and activity work that you do for the community. So all of us come from different backgrounds. Some of us are performers, some of us are not. But they're looking forward to see how active and involved are you in your community? Are you volunteering? Are you working with your local organizations to build those connections? And in my opinion, I feel like this system, this pageant system, is also like paving the way for other organizations because the amount of more non-binary competitions and more non-binary pageant systems are coming up in the community. I feel like we're paving the way for others to follow and for others to enjoy this type of representation that we have because we need it now more than ever, especially in this political climate. I'm just saying.
Wow. I really like the idea. I really, it's amazing for for those organizations to organize that as well, to be part of it, because you are including more people. It's open more people's mind. I think it's great. And when I saw it, I was like, I'm so glad that you accepted the invitation, so you could explain that to me. Amazing. I love it.
No problem, because the one thing I've even noticed, not just from the moment I got my title, but me as a performer, is that I constantly tell people that like you don't know who you inspired and you don't know who you actually pushed them into them stepping into their own truth. Because the amount of performers, the amount of people that have came towards me and told me that, hey, I started my drag journey because I saw someone like you, or I started to go into gender affirming care because I saw and heard your story. That's why I tell people you have to continue living in your truth because you don't know who's watching you, and you don't know who's going to be like, well, you did it, so let me go do it because you know if I know that you can make it, I can make it too. And that's why I'm always trying my best to put forward my best foot forward and continue to be that representation because I know that there was many people that I looked up to that I wish I would have told them that, yeah, I started this because of y'all, you know?
Totally, I love that. I think we sometimes we inspire people that we don't even know, understand, and some people out there sometimes they see other people trying and they see other people having their best of life, and sometimes they go like, you know what, I would like to follow the same career or to try the same thing as well. I think it's amazing. I love it. Amazing.
That part. Because
That's
like,
also, yeah. Please carry on.
oh, you first, my bad.
No, please.
Because the only thing I also wanted to add would be that I remember even because I'm gonna be real, I've only been doing drag and only got into this system for about now going on to 2 years.
Wow.
And so when I first came into the scene, I remember seeing a lot of local performers that just touched my heart. From my current drag dad, Sir Debonair, to my other drag dad, Ian Sire Blake, just seeing these type of icons and seeing them live their type of truth because in my opinion, when I first met them, they was telling stories that I wanted to always tell. So that's why I just always say that it's just like again, we as a community we have to continue to support each other and we have to continue to uplift each other because this is how we keep growing into great, bigger and better things, you know?
Zestial Celestial, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yeah.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have to my best friend. Run of fun questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question. Okay?
Okay. Bet.
Let's do it. Okay, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Bet.
Right. First question is, what is the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
Oh my God. I love this question. So even though me and my ex-partner are no longer together, I thought the most romantic thing that he did for me is that he made me like multiple paintings to where one of the paintings was like on a wood carved canvas to where he had my hand and his hand that formed a heart.
Oh my
and
God.
then like he even had my tattoo details on it. And then he put like an engravement on the back of the painting. So even though, like I said, even though me and him are not together, he's made me multiple paintings, and a lot of the paintings that he's given me literally all captured my personality. So that was probably the most romantic thing I've ever got as a gift.
That's amazing. Oh my God. And do you consider yourself to be a romantic person?
I consider myself to be. I mean, I'm the type of person that if I'm going to give a gift from my partner, it's going to be something from the heart. To where like I've given my partners poems, I've given them homemade jewelry. I've also like if I take them out to a dinner, I don't try to like just do like a typical restaurant. Like I want like on a picnic. Like I want like that romantic sunset, wine, rose petals everywhere. Like I want that full magical moment.
Oh, beautiful, sweet. Next
Thank
question.
you.
Let's do it. Okay. Next question is, do you have any pet peeves?
Yes, I hate people that cannot like be honest and know how to communicate. I'm 27 years old, and I tell people it's sad that I see grown people act like kids because, and I say that from the meaning on you don't know how to tell me how you're feeling, you don't know how to communicate what's wrong with you. When it's like, I get that we all have our own boundaries, our own bubbles, but I can't fix anything if you don't tell me what I'm doing wrong. So it's a pet peeve when people can't just communicate and talk to me. Because I'm like, I can tell you how I feel. I just need you to tell me how you feel.
And saying that, what makes you the happiest? That you feel like the best of yourself?
Um, I love seeing people, or what makes me the happiest is like I just love seeing people who have a big heart
Mhm.
because I feel like, especially in this current society, we don't see a lot of people who truly know how to be empathetic or know how to just like be there for somebody else. So seeing someone who is able to show them who's able to show that yes, I have a big heart and I can also help and understand is like very refreshing to me because that lets me know that the human decency is not completely dead because
Wow.
you don't see that like you see a lot of people that will watch something horrible happen but then not be involved or stay silent. I'm the type of person that if I see someone needing help, I'm going to help you the best I can. And even if I can't help you, I'm going to point you in the direction so someone else can help you, you know?
And do you think that, do you believe that happiness is a choice?
I yes and no. I believe that when you're sometimes in life when you're like when your inner mind and your inner self is like all aligned, then I believe that that will bring out your own inner happiness and joy. But I also believe that there is still some things in life to where that can also still bring joy to you too when you don't feel it. So I feel like it's a hand in hand type of situation, you know?
Totally. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, so before the next question, tell me, when you sign up to the competition of becoming Mixed Trans Texas 2025, my question for you is, when you enter the competition, did you think you could win? And also, the other part of the question is, holding the title, do you have like some schedules, some events that you need to attend, or something that you need to do, or you just kind of go with the flow?
So, I think I'm gonna break this down because I was like, that's multiple questions, but I love all of them. So I'm gonna break them down piece by piece. So when you asked on when I signed up, do you think I could win? I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea what I was signing myself up for. I had the mindset on going into I don't think I could win, but I'm not gonna give up. But I'm gonna give my very best because it's it's multiple of us. You know, we all can get the title. So it's the fact on I'm going in the mindset that rather I win or lose or draw, I'm completely okay where I place because I did the best I could. Let alone I never imagined even being in this type of spot or area in my life. So I'm just truly blessed to be here. So win, lose, or draw, I'm completely okay. Now, if I was to win the title afterwards, yes, there are duties that as a mixed trans title holder has to uphold by attending these type of special events and then also continue working with the local organization because part of our requirements is that we're supposed to work with a local nonprofit or charity So even after you win the pageant, or even after you win the title, you still have to be involved with your community members. So if, as a title holder, if you're not prepared to do that, then you signed up for the wrong system. For me, win, lose, or draw, I'm still going to work with my local organizations. I'm still going to work with my nonprofits because I do truly love the work that we are doing in the local scene.
Amazing. Great. Next question is, what makes you most proud?
What makes me most proud is knowing how far I've came as a person, because while getting into it but not getting deep into it, I have came from a lifestyle with a lot of trials and tribulations from a very young age all the way up till now. I have had to overcome a lot of adversive situations that I typically feel like most people wouldn't be able to fully do what I have done within that short amount of time. So I'm most proud of how far I've came as a person, because there was multiple low points in my life to where I truly did want to give up. I mean, I have a tattoo of a semicolon on my wrist because I want to say about 3 years ago, like I was back on the edge of wanting to give up all entirely. So being able to just still be here and being able to do everything that I've been doing shows that, yeah, I'm proud of how far I've came as a person.
Wow. Saying that, what's the biggest joy of being Celestial? What's the biggest joy of it?
Oh, I want to say this. Now, when I say this isn't a bad thing, but I want to say getting a shoe tossed at me. So in the drag world, if you get a shoe tossed at you, that's like the ultimate compliment a person or audience member could get you. And so the biggest joy was when both my drag dads, both Ian and Sir Debonair, threw their shoes at me when I was performing against one of my drag siblings for a competition. That was the biggest highlight for me because it made me feel like the icons that I looked up to, the people that I adore the most, finally see me for who I am as a performer. So having them share that moment with me was like very special. And then knowing that they're still in my lives as people is like the most happiest moment I could ever have in my life.
Oh, very sweet.
Thank you.
Next question, let's do it. Okay, next question is, in your opinion, what is the worst thing someone can say on a first date?
Oh, the worst thing you could tell me is that you're a Trump supporter. The worst thing you could tell me on the first date is if you told me you was a Trump supporter, we can split the bill right now. You pay your half, I pay my half. Don't even talk to me afterwards.
Oh,
it's
wow.
Good. You got that. I'm a type of person that I'm very firm on my beliefs and I'm very firm on where I stand with my community. And to me, if you was to tell me that, yeah, I'm a Trump supporter on the first date, I could not want to date you, because you're basically telling me that where you stand on certain things, that's where you stand, and your viewpoints are going to clash with mine. It's not going to work out. It's not. Sorry, not sorry.
It's okay. I love the answer. I love the honesty. And if this person is not a Trump supporter, if this person, what's something about this person when they're gonna date with you that for you, it's like it's something that gets your attention straight away?
Yeah, like it would have to be something like they would have to be a 10 across the board in order for me to ignore that one feature. And at the very most, it has to be rooted in logic. Like if it's not rooted in no type of logic behind it, then I still wouldn't be able to do it. Like you at least gotta make me see sense. Cause I tell people like this: you could be mad at how you feel, but you can't be mad at facts. If it's a fact, it's a fact. So if you was a Trump supporter and you came at me with logic behind it, then it's like, okay, I may not like you, but you're making sense. So I'll hear what you have to say and we can have a conversation like that. But if you're not making sense, then that's that. Yeah, no. You got that.
And tell me, how is being a non-binary person in Houston? Do you feel like you can raise your voice? Do you think people are accepting, or how do you see that based on your own experience?
So my experience as a non-binary person is a very interesting one. for starters, I'm Black and Hispanic, so I'm already a minority. When you add on being non-binary, that's already another minority with two other minorities. It is something that, at least in Houston, while I do feel like there are places where I can be open and be outspoken about my opinions, I also know for the vast majority, I really can't be in certain areas due to the fact on everything of what I am and due to the fact on the political climate. There are people in Houston that are very accepting, but there are still a lot of people in Houston that are very close minded. So while you can say how you feel, there's still that chance of your safety. And I'm a big person that I actually care about my safety. Like I would not put myself in hostile environments. So
I
it's
see.
a touch and go situation.
I see. And regarding your family or friends, did you always have the support of your family around you?
Yes and no. So I want to say probably my immediate family, from my mom to my dad and my brothers, I probably had like the biggest support from them. Towards the outer rims of my family, it was a hit or miss with different family members.
Mm-hmm.
Some family members were very close to me and have supported me throughout my years. Some have their opinions, and make it known on how they feel. But at the same time, it's hit or miss. But I would just say probably my immediate family is where I have the most support.
And which person in your life, right this moment, you feel more connected with or more close to?
Um, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna say my mother because um, with me and my mom, we have had like a lot of different conversations throughout the years, and I want to say the older I got, the more and more I did feel like we was getting closer to the point to where if I tell her, "Hey, mom, I'm about to go do A, B, C, D," she's like, "No, you're really about to go do D, E, F," and I'm like, "How do you know me too well?" So I want to say, yeah, that's probably the biggest relationship and connection I have with anyone would be my mother because she knows me more than I know myself.
Totally. Okay, so your mom is watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message. What would you say? She's watching.
I would say that one, pray that she's a great mother, despite our ups and downs. I will always say that she has made it a point to always keep trying and always show me that she loves me unconditionally. And even though when I don't believe in myself, she reminds me of all of the positive things I have been able to overcome and do as a person. So if I could tell her anything right now, it would be that I truly love and thank you for everything that you've given me. And I'm glad that you're my mother because I wouldn't have it in any other way.
Oh my God, sweet.
Gonna
Oh,
make me cry.
oh, send my regards to her, okay?
That's the best.
I got goosebumps now. Oh my God, beautiful, beautiful. I think, as you said, something very interesting. I think, people they know us very well, our siblings, our dad, but our mom, there is something there that, as you said, sometimes they know us better than ourselves. It's so interesting because I had a situation with my mom. I'm from Brazil, originally from Brazil, and I've been living, most of my life on my own. Like I left Brazil, I was 19 years old. And I think last year, a very good friend of mine, she came to visit, and my mom sent me some socks and some underwears. And I was like, my God, how did she know that I was needing? Like, I didn't tell her. Do you know what I mean? And she sent the right size, I was like, my God, how it's possible? And I told my friends, she's like, it's your mom. She knows you very well. I was like, wow, that's interesting. So I understand your point for sure. Great. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, next question is, how would you like to be remembered in life?
Oh, that's funny. I remember in high school, my teacher asked me this exact same question. Um, I would like to be remembered as a person that I left my mark, meaning that like I want to be remembered for someone that worked hard and showed that like you can come from nothing or you could come from like the worst possible situations imaginable and still find a way to be on top. I want people to know that if I was to leave this world for whatever reason, that I left the mark on being the most resilient because like I said, I've been through a lot in my life and was found a way to still push through and found a way to still survive. So I want to leave on the note saying that, yeah, I was the most resistant. So I want to be remembered for being able to resist everything that I've been through.
Wow. And what's the meaning of life for you?
The meaning of life to me is being able to live as your true authentic self, but also being open to change. Because one thing I was very rigid and very stubborn on for the longest is that I felt like I wanted to plan out my life, knew or felt like I need to have this achievement by this point, have this done at this age. But now I'm realizing that, well, while yes, you still need to do those things, but you also just need to be open to the unexpected. So being able to live as your true authentic self, but also just being able to anticipate and at least accept the unexpected, because you don't know what's going to come your way. You don't know what new career path that you're going to take that's going to completely change your life, like just being open to change.
Tell me a life lesson that life has taught you that you feel very grateful for.
Good things come to those who wait.
Wow.
That's probably the lesson that for the longest I hated. I hate it because I am not a patient person. I'm the type of person that I have to see the results right now in order to be okay. But knowing that, like, nah, sometimes you just need to slow down. You need to let things work itself out, and you need to just enjoy what you can, because in life we can't control everything. And I feel like that's where people get the biggest frustration from, is feeling like that they need to control something, when it's like, no, you need to just be patient and let things work itself out, because everything will. You're just in your head too much about it to not think clearly about it.
Beautiful. Two questions left. Let's do it.
That's it.
Okay, before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a performer? Tell me the feeling when you are there, performing, giving your best. And the second part of the question is, what's the most challenging part of it?
So the best feeling that I get from being a performer is being able to connect with the audience members, because like while we're performing, we're dancing, we're lip syncing to the song. I feel like, at least for me, a lot of my performances are trying to have that one-on-one connection in order to tell a story. And so when audience members after the show tells me, hey, I love what you did, I love the message behind of what you did, that lets me know that, yeah, I did my job great, because you was able to give the message I wanted to portray. Because a lot of my performances are my own inner stories, so where I'm telling some about my own trials and tribulations. Sometimes they're a little spicy, but sometimes they're a little political. So being able to connect with people on that type of level is amazing to me, because I'm only on stage for 3 to 4 minutes. So the fact that you can get that type of story from 3 to 4 minutes is amazing. The downside about being a performer is that not many people, or not many drag people, would tell you is that, like, we go through a lot of our own mental things behind closed doors, to where most people think when we're on stage, we're fine, we're happy. While we may be happy in that moment, we may be going through so much inner battles behind closed doors that unfortunately we can't let the world see that, hey, I'm going through something right now. There's been multiple performances to where was going through real life situations, and I couldn't tell people that, yeah, this happened to me, but I still had to, put the boots on and still get out and perform. So I want to say that's probably the most biggest downfall about being a performer, is just having to be in our own head at different moments.
I totally agree and understand as well. Sometimes you see this beautiful performer there on stage, like spreading this great vibe. But sometimes, behind the scene or behind their minds, there's something they're struggling, something they're going through, and sometimes they are doing that to escape that. So sometimes to remember that they came to this world to do that, and so they kind of step on it, said, you know what, I need to be here, I want to be here, I want to perform, I want to. And so I think people, the audience, that's why people, they always love to see performers, because they bring this nice energy. However, we need to always remember that there are people there, there's someone there that's it might be crying behind the scene or something. So I understand your point. Talking about emotions, tell me what makes you very sentimental.
Is when I started telling my own personal stories in drag. So like one of my numbers I did was a whole number that was kind of talking about the recent Trump administration policies towards specifically towards the transgender community and the non-binary community. That performance was probably like the most emotional that I've ever given. I probably gave more when I was a little bit younger in drag, but that's the one that comes to the top of my head because recently I've just been able to come into who I am as a person and stepping into my own journey. But with everything that's going on, knowing that it's a possibility that a lot of things I'm enjoying right now can be taken away, that's really scared me to the point to where I want to go back into hiding, quote unquote. But unfortunately, I'm not doing that because I need to still show out for my community. So having that type of performance on stage was really empowering, but also emotional for me because one, I exposed myself to the highest degree possible without getting into too many details. But it was emotional because I wanted to not only display myself as a person, but I felt like I shouldn't have to feel like I'm asking people to be involved in the situation when when we see injustice, you should already naturally as a person want to get involved. And it just felt like we shouldn't have to be at this point as a community. We shouldn't have to feel what we're feeling right now, you know?
Do you cry easily?
A little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Beautiful. Last question, ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. Last question. But before the last question, two questions. The first part of the question is, tell me about your name, Zestial Celestial, when it came along. And the second part of the question is, when people come to see you on your performance, what's something that you'd like people to take with them? You know, when they go home, they go like, you know what? I've always remembered that performer, or there's something about, you know, about Zestial Celestial that I'll take with me.
So, I came up with my name because when I first started drag, my first drag name was actually Crystal Summer. Crystal Summer was initially my preferred name during my daytime. But then when I met another performer with the exact same name, I was like, okay, so I need to change it. So when I started thinking about my drag, I started realizing that a lot of my drag, I talk about heavy and topics that aren't easily able to be talked about. Despite to me, these are easy topics, but other people, these are very controversial and difficult topics. So I wanted to take something bad, and the character is Zestial is actually from one of my favorite shows, to where it's a overlord in hell.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna take something bad and I'm gonna put something good with it for Celestial because I feel like me as a person, I'm trying to live as the embodiment of something that I'm going to talk about something that's bad and that's heavy to talk about. But I'm going to give you hope at the end of the conversation so you can pursue to who you want to be because we need to have these heavy conversations, but at the same time, we need to have hope at the end of it to push a person to continue to not give up. So that's how I came up with Zestial Celestial. And yeah.
Yeah. And what's something about your performance that you'd like people to take with them when they come to watch you?
I would like people to take the fact that when it comes to my performances, you're getting a part of my story. You're getting a part of who I am as a person. So when the performance is over, I want the audience members to feel like that you have a piece of my story to where you can say you kind of know me. You don't fully know me, but you at least know part of my own inner struggle to know that, yeah, I did that in order to be here. So just them having a part of my story is the only thing that I want them to take away. And, you know, at least remembering that, hey, I did the best I could. So, you know, I hope you liked it. Yeah.
Amazing. Last question is, if you could make up a school subject, what that would be?
That's a great question. I love that question. I would make up a school subject called life. And I say that because the one thing I realize is that, and this is even from a TV show that I've seen, not the subject, but like the idea behind it, is that I feel like when it comes to our school systems, we teach a lot of like generic type of like teachings from English, math, science, all that good stuff. But I don't feel like a lot of what we're teaching in our school systems actually apply in real life, let alone kids
Mhm.
don't even really pursue what they want to pursue anymore. So if I can make up a subject, it would be a subject called life, so you can truly explore all your different types of options, lay everything out on the table for you to pick out what you feel is best for you and want to pursue. Because I feel like we just teach these generic school systems, but yet none of these kids know what they want to do after school. No one really knows who they are. So I feel like if you figure out who you are while you're young, you can figure out what you want to do when you get older versus trying to get it all together as an older person, or when you get older, that way you're not struggling. Because I see a lot of people that are in their 30s finally figuring out who they are, when it's like, maybe if you had time to figure who you was out earlier, you would be a lot more happier, you know?
Totally understand. I like that. I think it makes all sense. Sometimes we need a real subject for us to understand more about the reality of life. Totally understand. Right, it's not
Yeah.
the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words, just one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with money.
Pay raise.
Family.
Connection.
Life.
Acceptance.
Fear.
Doubt.
Love.
Connections.
Religion.
Morality.
Sex.
Intimacy.
I like the way you did. You look down. Intimacy. Politics.
Liars.
Friendship.
Loyalty.
Desire.
Need.
Regret.
Ooh. Second guessing, I guess.
Of course. Success.
Joy.
One word for wish.
Oh. App, affirmations. Affirmations.
Okay. One word for happiness.
Joy.
One word for Houston.
Ratchet. Ratchet.
One word for USA.
Complicated. Complicated.
Okay. One word for performer.
Unique.
And the last one now. Mixed Trans 2000. No. Mixed Trans Texas 2025. One word.
Zestial Celestial.
Yeah. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend. Define Zestial Celestial in one word, positive, and one negative word. What your best friend would say about you?
They would probably say powerful for the positive, and then for the negative, it would be overthinker. Overthinker.
What's your star sign astrology?
Oh, I'm an Aries. I
Aries.
literally like got it like tattooed on my shoulder.
Oh my God. So you are March, April.
April. Like my birthday just passed like on Monday.
Oh my God. Happy belated birthday. How do you like celebrating birthdays for you just a normal day?
Oh no, like when it's my birthday, like it's a holiday to me. Like I took off that Friday all the way up to Tuesday. And to me, I tell people, yes, my birthday is like a holiday. Y'all will enjoy me for all of these days. And when I'm at work, it's that no, I'm not doing nothing. It's my birthday. You ain't gonna get me to do nothing. Like,
Amazing. Let's play now Zestial Celestial in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it. Okay, but before we ask the question, people watching this interview right now, maybe would you like to apply, to be Mixed Trans Texas 2026, or maybe they would like to try another title, based on the LGBTQ plus community. What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
my best piece of advice would be simply don't overthink it. While you may be doubtful in your head or feel for whatever situations, know that there's always going to be light at the end of the tunnel, and know that there will be people behind you that will love and support you. The literally the biggest enemy that you're going to face is yourself. So sometimes you may need to tell yourself, hey, self, I need you to shut up so I can go do what I need to go do. And just continue to live and be your true authentic self.
Beautiful. You can ask me a question now, Zestial Celestial.
So my question would be is how did you come up with this whole interview YouTube idea? Because I looked through some of your posts and I seen even one of our local organization leaders, Blair, on there. So I was
Yeah.
just like, okay, how did you come up with this? Because I enjoy this. Like I love being able to connect with different people, and the fact that you're connecting with people worldwide from local to out of state to out of country. How did you come up with this?
Oh my God, yes, Blair, it was such a great interview with him. He was an amazing, interview. I think it's amazing for people to be here. You know what, Zestial Celestial, when I started the show, I think like before, during the COVID, yeah, so I was already thinking, my God, I would like to do something on YouTube where I could connect with people, where I could express myself, but I didn't know what I could do. Because as you know, there are so many people there doing beautiful, very inspiring, podcasts, YouTube channels. There are some people expressing themselves, but I just want to do something about me, something that I could express the way I am, that people could connect and see the real person. Also, I could let people express themselves as well. Fun enough, before the William the Magic Box came along, the idea, I met a very good friend of mine, and I said to him, look, I would like to do a YouTube channel, but I don't know what. But just because I love music, that's why I put the dance here, because I love dancing. I think for me, dancing, it's a part of you expressing, there's so much energy there. So I love dancing. And I said to my friends, I had the whole project more or less like in my head. I was like, I would like to create a YouTube channel where I could have people's play some songs play, and people could try to understand the song, things like that. And he was like, William, I love your enthusiasm. However, you cannot use people's music online. They're gonna cut you straight away.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, don't tell me that. And I said, okay, let me see. So I said, okay, what can I do? So at the same time, the COVID hits, yeah. So the world shut down, everything closed. And here in England, you could leave the house once a day for exercise, like run in the park or do some
Oh,
outside
wow.
work. Yeah, for 1 hour you could do every day during the
Yeah.
lockdown. And I was going for a run every day. I was going for a run in the afternoon. And one of those runs, I remember the day, I remember the moment and the place when this idea came along. And I was like, oh my God, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to create some questions. I'm going to research some questions. And I'm just going to ask random people online on social media to see what they think, what their idea about it. Literally, it came out from a run in the park. And I didn't know how I could put all together. And I have actually, I have some pictures saved that when I was writing the question, when I was put all the questions on my bed and I was taking picture, because I said, my God, I'm starting something new now and I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know, it's gonna be, and I was like, how am I gonna start that? So that's how it started, Zestial Celestial. It's literally on a run in the park. But saying that, I was already doing that. Like, sometimes you ask yourself, my God, what can I do? For example, when I was asking myself
Yeah.
before I start the show, and sometimes it's already here, but you don't know yet. You need to explore a little bit more. And as a teenager or even adults, all the time when I was going on vacation with friends, when I was traveling, there was always a moment I was like, who was your favorite teacher? Tell me something interesting about your childhood. So I was already doing that, you know what I mean? So my personality was already here. So I think,
Yeah.
it's I'm so grateful for this idea, Zestiel, because I feel the best. You're having the best William right now. That's the best me people can have, because I'm having the time of my life. When I just remember I'm recording when I look here on my screen, because for me, I just feel like talking to a friend. You know what I mean? So I think for me,
Yeah.
that's how the idea started. Literally in a run in the park. Yeah.
I felt that. I like that. That's very beautiful. That's very beautiful.
Did you enjoy the interview?
I did. This was very fun.
Thanks again. Thanks for being so kind and so sweet and accepting my invitation. I think it's such a great pleasure to have you here on the show. My God, you said you are 27-year-old. I couldn't tell that because you are very wise. You know your points. You know what you're talking about. You embrace your rights, what you think is good, not just for you, but people around you, for the community. And it's amazing because, I think you are doing this title, it meant to be for you because you are literally embracing, that and talking to you. Trust me, you come across a very confident person. I love that. I think for you to be holding a title like that is a big responsibility because you are representing a lot of people. And I'm sure people who choose you, I'm sure they knew what you're doing because not just you, but all the competencies they were there because for you to be able to be there is already a big step because, it's not easy to get there. And talking to you, I was like, my God, he's very confident. He knows what he's embracing. He knows what he's talking about. And I think people in our community, that's what we need. We need people to stand out, to go there and put their face, you know what, I'm here to represent you. I'm here for that. So I love it. I love it. And talking to you, I really like that because you are very confident and you know what you are doing and you are very proud of your title. So congratulations. I'm so glad that you had this moment right now. Before we go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
I will leave by love yourself first, because in order for you to love somebody else, you gotta love yourself first. So I would tell someone, love yourself first, and then go out, live your life, because you only get one. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So live it to the fullest, and whatever you feel is holding you back, just know that more than likely you can overcome it. So just continue to live and shine.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks again. Have a nice weekend and keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure having you on the show, okay?
Likewise. You enjoy your weekend.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.